Yes, good morning, everybody. First of all, let me apologise for the glitches last night on YouTube. For some reason, comments just weren't pulling through on many YouTube channels. So I was live. I could see that you were all watching, but I couldn't get the comments. They were coming through one every 5 or 6 minutes. So apologies if any of you said anything or posted anything or any super chats or likes. I didn't get to see it. So apologies. That was a YouTube issue, not a fhtv Savva issue. But good morning. I hope you are all very well. We are now one day away from knowing who we are going to get in the Champions League. And we know it's going to be one of two clubs. It's either going to be a nice, cheeky little trip to Turkey to play Galatasaray, or it's going to be a trip to Madrid to play Atletico and Diego Simeone's boys. We'll get into that. We'll talk about it. The draw is tomorrow for that. I mean, they'll milk it, won't they? Let's be fair. It's just literally one ball to tell who's playing who, but they'll milk it and we'll milk it. And the content will be milked. So I hope you are all looking forward to that tomorrow. We've put a poll in the chat, haven't we? We put a poll in the chat. It's a simple one today. The question is this: who would you prefer to get? Is it Atletico? Is it Galatasaray? Or the third option is it doesn't matter because we are awful. And at the moment, that is absolutely winning at a landslide. Spurs fans making their frustrations clear that it doesn't matter who we get. We are not very good. Other than that, let's do the housekeeping, shall we? Let's get the admin out of the way. Find your nearest fire exit. Know where that is in your house. Get there quickly. Don't take YouTube with you if there's a fire. Just head straight out into the front of your house. Go to OK Jersey. Type in code SAVVA, S-A-V-V-A, for 8% discount at checkout. My guy at OK Jersey always says to me that people he can see try to check out with the code SAVA, 2 Vs. It's really simple. 2 Vs. You'll get 8% off. You get all the World Cup shirts. You'll get lots of sporting goods as well, not just shirts, Premier League shirts, Champions League shirts, World Cup shirts, all sporting goods. Please go over to there. And also Match Bingo, which is up in that top corner there. Just smash the QR code on your phone. A few people have been winning on that lately. So just a bit of a laugh. It's for those that don't really want to bet, but like a little flutter, if that makes sense. It's a little bit more relaxed. It's a little bit more fun than your traditional betting. And if you use the code FHTV, you will get £10 free on Match Bingo. So big up to each and every one of you. Where to start? In the world of football, we move away from that. In the world of football, Tottenham Hotspur are struggling, aren't we? We are struggling massively. It doesn't seem to matter who the manager is. It doesn't seem to matter who is the chairman. Tottenham Hotspur are struggling. And in 3 days' time, let me get my maths right, we will play Fulham away in a tough, tricky London derby. And as always, I'm seeing lots of people belittle Fulham. This is a decent Fulham team. They get results. And Spurs have won 2 in 18 Premier League games. We do not get results. But we will talk about that a little bit later on as well. By the way, excuse me, sorry, something in my throat tonight. For anyone that was asking me about Spurs 5, you know I'm not a member of Spurs 5 anymore. However, Sean is ill at the moment, so he won't be streaming. So I will be filling in for Sean tonight because he is not very well. So best wishes to Sean. Hope he gets better quickly. But yes, you will see my ugly face on there tonight as well. This is the problem, isn't it, Rob? Rob Plan, big up to you, channel member, said, yeah, and this is it. Then we will sack another manager because we lost. Now, I'm already seeing people, right? I'm already seeing people say, Savva, if we lose to Palace and Fulham, do you sack Tudor? And it's like, why? What's the point? Like, genuinely, what's the point? Are people still thinking that bringing in this manager, fill in the name you want in the brackets, is going to change what happens at Tottenham. Now, listen, I am somebody that doesn't think we will go down. I don't think we will go down. I didn't under Frank. I don't think we're going to go down under Igor Tudor. I do think it would be absolutely catastrophic for Tottenham to go down either way. But what I think is, I think that Tottenham are going to need to rely on our rivals. And when I say our rivals, I don't mean Arsenal. I don't mean Chelsea. When I'm talking about rivals, I'm talking about, I think we're going to rely on Forest and West Ham and those teams not having enough in them to get out of the relegation battle themselves. Now, I could be completely wrong. They've both got difficult runs. We know that. However, what is a difficult run when you can't win any games of football? So when you've won 2 in 18, surely you look at every game and go, this is difficult. This is a difficult run. And as I said on yesterday's show, we can all sit there and be arrogant and talk about we're better than them, we're better than them, we're better. But at the moment, we're not better than most of these teams. So I truly believe that there won't be many points got between Forest, Spurs, and West Ham. I don't know if you could chuck, who else could we chuck in that mix? Leeds. I mean, I'm looking Brighton are 5 points above Spurs. That means Brighton are 9 points above West Ham. I don't believe that West Ham will make up 10 points on Brighton between now and let's bring this up. Should we bring this up? I don't believe. Sorry, yeah, Phil, when you're saying Palace, I can't see how Palace get dragged into it, mate. If we look at this, there we go. So I won't worry about Fulham on 37 points. If we look at the table there, right? Crystal Palace on 35 points. So they are 10 points above West Ham. They are 10 points above West Ham. That means that whatever West Ham do now, they need to do an 11-point swing on Palace because of the goal difference. I cannot see that West Ham will do 4 games better than Palace in the last 11 games of the season. Let that make so for anyone that's not making sense. Whatever Crystal Palace do, if Crystal Palace win 2 of their last 11, it means that West Ham would need to win 6 of their last 11. I can't see it. Stranger things have happened. We know that. We know that stranger things have happened. No pun intended on the TV show. But can you really see it? Can you really see that happening, people? I genuinely can't. Bear with me 1 second. Structural. Sorry, 1 second. Let me I'm just searching something, see if I can get something for you. 1 second. Right, there we go. Okay, let me just let that work in the background. Yeah, so basically, I think Crystal Palace are safe. That by proxy, from my workings out, I think that means anyone above Crystal Palace is safe. Brighton are 9 points clear of West Ham. Now, that means that with their goal difference as well, there's a 19-goal swing between Brighton and West Ham. That means that West Ham will need to do 10 points better than West Ham again. Than Brighton. Again, Brighton win 2 games in the last 11. West Ham need to win 6. Can't see it. Now, the other one I think you can drag into it is Leeds United. Now, they're the only other ones I believe that can be dragged into this. That's the only one that I believe. So Leeds United are 2 points clear of Spurs, and that means that they are, 6 points clear of West Ham. Now, the difficult thing here is when people say, well, 2 wins in a row, the problem is when you look down there, if you look at the bottom half of the table, so Newcastle down from 11th to 20th, right? The only team in the last 6 games that has managed to put a 2-game win run together is West Ham. And that was 4 games ago. Right? That was 4 games ago. So if you look at it, you can see there, Wolves have won none of their last 6. Burnley one of their last 6, right? But again, not 2 in a row. Forest have won 1 of their last 6. Spurs haven't won any of their last 6. Leeds haven't managed to put 2 wins together. Brighton, 1 of their last 6. Palace can't put 2 wins together. Sunderland can't. Newcastle can't. And this is the problem. It's all well and good saying if we beat them and them and them and them, where are those wins coming from? Why suddenly are we just going to rock up and beat these teams? That so far we've seen there is no new manager bounce, and I don't even mean in terms of result, in terms of performance. I don't know what you guys think. That everyone told me that the difference would be Tudor would get into them. He would, straight away we'd see a difference in energy, in attitude, running through brick walls, defensively solid, and we looked absolutely atrocious against Arsenal. Nothing had changed. Now Fulham away is different. It's not Arsenal. But last year, we did lose both games to Fulham. This year, we did lose to Fulham. So the last 3 games against Fulham have been Fulham wins. We can't just pretend that hasn't happened. And this squad is worse than that squad that lost to them last year. This has less goal scorers. I think that we are going to struggle. I think we are going to struggle. Now, this is where I think we are going to rely on Forest, on Leeds, and on West Ham. We need to rely on those teams not getting many points, in my humble opinion. Now, my humble opinion is just that, an opinion. It's a humble opinion. It doesn't mean I'm right. We could go and win the next 5, and we go, brilliant. Cool. All the conversation of relegation stops. Right now, I'm just struggling to see who doesn't want to play us. If you are Fulham right now, you want to play Tottenham, don't you? If you are Palace, you want to play Tottenham. You want to play Spurs, don't you? And Spurs fans won't want to hear that. But Dr. Tottenham is a thing, right? Everyone wants to play us. When you are not in good form, when you need a win to stay up, when you need a win to qualify for Europe, whatever it may be, what the other team's goals and aspirations are, you want to play Spurs. And I don't disagree with them. We are an easy touch. We haven't bought well. We haven't put a squad together that fights. We haven't put a squad together that can handle relegation battles. We haven't put a squad together that really runs through brick walls. We've seen when the going gets tough, they all shit their pants, don't they? When the going gets tough, they all shit their pants. 1 second. They don't know what to do. So what do you I get it that there are people who are super, they're super, super positive. I get that. But just being super positive doesn't change how bad Spurs are. There are people I'm seeing in this chat that said, don't worry, we'll definitely win 5 of the next 10. We'll definitely get Europe this season. We'll definitely do this. You definitely sign this player. None of these things have come true. And I think that a lot of that is to do why there is a lot of delusion within Tottenham Hotspur, why there's a lot of delusion as to why we should just rock up and beat Bournemouth, Fulham, Palace. Now, it doesn't mean that we're never going to beat any of those teams. It doesn't mean that. But we do talk as though we can just rock up and beat anyone on our day. We're that good. And I don't know what these people have been watching to suggest that that is the case. I love it. I guess when I was at school and I was a naive young kid, you fight tooth and nail. My team's the best. We're going to win every game. I just don't know how any grown-up can look at this scenario that Spurs have been in the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and constantly belittles other football clubs around us. I don't understand it. I don't get it. Other fan bases don't get it. And it's this. We're not, are we? We're not humble. We are not a humble fan base. We're an arrogant fan base. We're an arrogant fan base. We talk about Spurs being this great, big, massive club when we've never won a Premier League title. We've never won a Champions League. We've never won a Premier League. We've not won the FA Cup since 1991. But we still talk. We still talk every week, don't we? They're rubbish. You look at the people that come in and go, no excuses, Fulham are crap. And you're like, whoa, why? What? Why are Fulham crap? Like, what's happened to make you think they're crap and we should just be beating them? But hey, that's just me. Maybe other people are living in an alternative world where Tottenham are top 4 in the league, playing really sexy football. I mean, look, I think you've got to, first of all, I'm not going to really entertain idiot comments like this if we're brutally honest. I mean, as a collective, Paulinho is one man. As a collective, Spurs have shown when the going gets tough, they row with the fans, they row with the manager, they row with the media, but there's no fight on the pitch. So Paulinho is one man. Spurs have a squad of 25 to 30 footballers. And we're definitely not in a bad rut. This is years now of being bad. Big up to user who said arrogance without justification. Bang on. And that's it. It's arrogance without the evidence or justification to show why. And you know, yeah, they base it on the stadium and our top 4 finishes in the past decade. Look, I think the worrying thing is if you look at the last, in the last 7 years, I don't think Tottenham have finished. I think we finished in the top 4 once. Like, where's this arrogance coming from? Where does this self-confidence and belief? Sure, but where are the goals coming from? I mean, you know, I've seen all week people gassing up Porro's back. Porro's had a terrible year. Like, you know, now they're gassing up Danso. I don't mind Danso, by the way, but where are the goals? Where are the goals? None of the players coming back are the players that get you goals and create. I don't know where this comes from. And what we're going to do, we're going to play a back 3 at Fulham on a small pitch where I don't think you need 3 centre halves. And I think it's going to be like Burnley, if I'm brutally honest. I think it's going to be like that Burnley game. Look, I'll be honest, guys. My copium ran out a long time ago. I've got no copium left. I'm genuinely worried. Doesn't mean I think we're going to go down. But my copium left a long time ago. A long, long time ago. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's have a look at the demise over the last few years. Tottenham Hotspur league finishes. There we go. So when we look at the league finishes for Tottenham, it's worrying, isn't it? It's truly worrying when you look at what's happened over the years. And yet we don't want to look at it, right? I mean, if you look in the last 6, we finished 4th. So in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, this will be the 7th seasons. In 7 seasons, we finished top 4 once. For me, we've got to give up this ghost that we're a top 4 side. And we've got to give it up. We were a top 4 side. Now we are a bottom half Premier League team. All the data, all the stats, all the results, all the defeats, all the goals against, all the points, the players, everything shows you we are a bottom half football team unless you've got your best 11 week in, week out. And which football club has their best 11 week in, week out? You know, no, Phil, I get that. But the big thing for Spurs is we can't create or score goals. So all the players that are due to come back anytime soon are more defensive, aren't they? I don't know where the goals and assists come from when looking at this team. You look against Arsenal, the goal we scored was because Declan Rice made a mistake. You know, you look at, we've got 24 goals from open play. And again, lots of people, including myself, had this massive worry in the summer that we did not buy goal scorers. It was all right, Phil. People like, you know, people wanted Odebers and Tells to be signed at this football club. But you've got to buy. You've got to buy. I'll tell you what, Manny, is this true? Manny has joined the show. Hello, Manny. Oh, no, his camera is doing something. There we go. Look, let's all pray and hope that Manny can. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Somebody in my chat, one of my mods, please get designated Hotspurs link in the chat. Manny, good morning. You look very sexy in your suit.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, okay, cool.
You got me?
Yeah, big up. How you doing, man?
I'm good. We got two things that we need to discuss straight off the bat. The first one is Manny is 35 subs away from 1,000. Guys,
I'm going to start putting that on just in case.
Guys, there is the link. 35 of you can smash that button within 1 minute. Please, 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 can you all get over? Manny is a top lad.
Thank you, mate. Thank you. I don't think Danny K will think the same.
No, I've heard good things about you, Manny. So Manny's on. But hang on, there's 31 subscribers, 31 away, right? We're not going to talk about anything until we get there, right?
That's pressure.
While you guys do that, he's on 971. It's going up. Please, there it is. There's the link again. Thank you very much. Please smash the button there.
Thank you, mate.
It's a big milestone for YouTubers to get to their first 1,000. So please do that. And while you're at it, look at the state of this. There's 425 people and 49 likes.
Nah, come on, guys. Come on.
You lot deserve relegation. You deserve. How are you, Manny?
Relegation form.
You're all suited and booted. I'm guessing you're in the office.
Yes, I'm in the office, mate. Other than the fight I'm having with my IT department to get me a new laptop, everything is absolutely wonderful. I've been trying for a new laptop for the past 3 years, mate, and I'm still not getting anything. So the reason why you couldn't hear me at first is because they've wiped my laptop, right, this morning, telling me that wiping the laptop is going to make sure that my laptop increases in performance, which is another excuse to say we don't want to buy you a new laptop. So that's what I'm fighting right now in my office. But other than that, I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you? How are you, Savva?
I'm good, man. I'm good. But Manny is 16 away. 16.
Wow.
1-6 from 1,000.
Thank you very much, guys. Please. That's crazy.
You're going to be annoyed with me, people. I'm going to keep mentioning it. I'm going to be the kid who sits in the back of the car saying to their parents, are we nearly there yet? Until we get there. Please smash that button. Manny, hello and welcome. Manny, I'm going to start off with the obvious. Are we going down, or is there is the possibility now it's gone past banter and it's actually a real concern?
No, it's a real concern. That's for sure. Like I don't know who created that notion of you're too big to go down, but it just doesn't exist. It just does not exist. So it's a real possibility. It's a real possibility. I don't personally think we will. I think everyone has to settle down a little bit, because I've seen the panic and I understand why everyone is panicking after the Arsenal result and performance. But I think everyone has to just, control the ball, just relax a little bit. Let us see. The next 2 games are what were going to be crucial. Whether Frank was here or not, the Arsenal game would have been the Arsenal game. The Fulham game and the Palace game are the crucial games right now that will tell us or give us an indication of, it's not like are we in real trouble? It's more like, are our chances diminishing, of staying up? Or are we going to give ourselves some breathing room, which we really, really need, Savva, like urgently?
Well, but that's the thing, Manny, isn't it? what we've done, I think, in the last 3-4 weeks is everybody's looked at the teams below us catch up, right? So you've seen West Ham have caught up, Forest have caught up. What we've also witnessed, probably without even realising it, is how much the teams above us that were there with us, the Palaces, right?
Brighton.
The Brightons, they've got points. They've all got points. And when you look at this table, Manny, like, as I said just now, other than Leeds, I don't think anyone else is in it, because Leeds United and Brighton have got Brighton and Palace are essentially 10, 11 points clear of West Ham because of the goal difference.
Yeah.
And that means that whatever West Ham do, whatever Leeds, I'll get there in a minute, whatever Palace and Brighton do, West Ham will need to do 4 games on top of, right? And the games are running out. Other than Leeds United, can you see anyone else being dragged into that relegation battle?
Well, Savva, I will say to you, right, and people will probably disagree with me, but I don't even think Leeds are going to get dragged into this, because these guys at the moment are picking up points, and they're picking up points in style, in the sense of they've got this, bravado with the way they play that makes you realize, actually, these guys are just plodding along bit by bit. They'll get a point here. They've got a point against Chelsea. They'll get a point here. Their home form is quite good. So I don't think that, in essence, they are the ones that are going to get dragged into this, to be completely honest with you. Genuinely.
Well, I'm just looking at the fixtures. I'm also looking at the fact that Manny is now only 6 subscribers away. Six of you. There's 440 people. 440. I'm looking at Leeds' next 6 Premier League games. I'm going to take out the FA Cup game. They've got Man City this weekend, so at Leeds, but you would expect that Man City will have
City to win. Yeah, agreed.
They've then got Sunderland at home, and I think Sunderland have kind of run out of gas a little bit. I think they've just started to do what They've then got Palace away, Brentford at home, United away, and Wolves at home. Now, I see enough in that. I think they beat Sunderland
100%.
and Wolves at home as a minimum. I think as a minimum, I think in the next 6 Premier League games, they get 6 points. Then their next home game after Wolves is Burnley.
Yeah, Savva, they're doing it. Even the Palace game, right? The way Palace are playing now and the way Leeds are playing, I don't put it past Leeds to beat Palace as well. Like, I genuinely think Leeds. I forgot. Is it Daniel Farker? He's the manager.
Farker, yeah.
He's done an incredible job. He's done an incredible job with the squad he has, because when they initially came in, everybody was saying they're too fragile. They want to play the beautiful football. They can't score goals. And he's managed to turn this team into a team that actually, right now, how many points do they need? They probably need 3 wins. They need 3 wins from now to the end of the season, and there's a high likelihood they're going to make it. 3 wins gets them to 40 points. And I genuinely do think they're going to make it.
Even 2 wins, Manny. Let's be brutally honest about this, right? I know we all talk about the magical 38, 39, 40 point marker.
Yeah.
If Leeds United get 2 wins from their last 11 games, that puts them on 37. Yeah, Manny's just got
so
to the
much, guys.
Big up, everybody.
Unbelievable. Thank you very, very much. Thanks, Savva. That's much appreciated.
Subscribers. No, you're more than welcome, my man. You're more than welcome. If let's just say worst case scenario for Leeds United that they pick up 2 wins, 2 bare minimum, 2 wins. That puts them on 37 points. That puts them 12 points and a massive goal difference above West Ham, right? That means that West Ham, from their last 11 games, would need to get 13 points minimum, which is at minimum 4 wins and a draw or 5 wins.
And I don't think they're doing it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. And this is the point, right? This is why when people are saying Spurs need 10, I don't think we need 4 wins. I don't think we do need 4 wins. But right now, Manny, my worry is, and I think you hit the nail on the head. The Arsenal game was never going to be the game that told us what we needed to know. I think most sensible fans knew Arsenal were going to take 3 points. I know that's horrible to say, but they are very good.
Yeah.
The Fulham and Palace games coming up are going to be a huge indicator, Manny, as to is there fight in this squad? Can we face against adversity? Are they going to play for Igor Tudor? Is he managing to get any kind of ethos, attitude, work rate into them? Because 2 defeats in a row here, Manny.
Oh no, that would be unthinkable.
It's inconceivable, right?
100%.
So yeah. What do you think Igor Tudor's got to do? What's he got to do?
Well, so obviously I've not been on on your show, on any other show ever since we played Arsenal, right? I was at the game. I don't know, were you at the game, Savva?
I didn't go on Sunday, no.
Right. So my take from Sunday's game that we played against Arsenal, right? If I was to split the 2 halves, the first half, the second half, the first half, Arsenal again should have scored many goals. And that's purely based on their quality. If you're looking at the quality of Arsenal's team and the quality of our team, is a cousin. Like, there's absolutely no comparison, right? However, what I did see when I went to the game and what I thought Tudor wanted to implement, right, was that he wanted to push our entire team all the way up, press the hell out of Arsenal and force them into errors. Now, the reason why I think he did that is because I think he looked at the quality of the team, the quality of the attack, and said, listen, we are not creating anything ourselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to push everyone up, force them to make mistakes, and then capitalize on that, right? Now, if I take that team and I switch it, if I take the Arsenal team, the opponents that we're playing, and I switch it to any mid-table team, I genuinely think that Arsenal were good in playing themselves out of the press purely because of the quality that they have. And I do think that if he was to do that, the same thing, have the same aggressiveness from the start against your Fulham, your Palace, etc., there is that chance of us getting a bit more joy than we did against Arsenal. Now, the issue we have is, as you said earlier, the mentality of the team in that second half. Because the team came out in that second half, conceded that first goal, and crumbled. Like, you could see the heads dropped, everything dropped. And I think that is the major concern that everyone has at the moment is we go to Fulham, right? I was having a conversation with your guy Tobes on the Big Six, right?
Oh,
and he thinks, right, we're getting 4 points from the next 2 games, right? I think we need to get 4 points from the next 2 games.
I think we all need tapping Tobes. I think we need Tobes' confidence. I'm going to message him now and say, send me the drugs that you're on, man.
To be fair, he did put caveats in there saying that depending on who comes back, right? But but Savva, if you really think about it, this team has to build, 1, the confidence, and 2, the mentality from somewhere, right? And I think the best place to do that is at Fulham, because Fulham is no mug, right? Especially at home. If you go there and get at least a draw, they're gonna come out and think, okay, you know what, we can do this. And as you said, which I didn't take that into consideration the past few days, you're probably right. We might not need the 40 points to salvage our season, but every point counts now. Every point counts.
Yeah,
and that's what I am at the moment.
You're right. I'm just looking at the form table in the Premier League, the home form table, and Fulham are 9th, level on points with Chelsea, Bournemouth, and Newcastle. So Fulham have taken 23 points from 13 games. So if I'm not wrong, 13, 26. So out of 39 points available, what good maths. I should be in finance and accounting. From From 39 points available, they've taken 23, scored 22, conceded 16. I think my worry is, and Manny, I can't, we're in this era now where I'm looking at Fulham going, oh, they're a well-organised, well-disciplined team. You kind of know what Fulham are, right?
Yeah.
There's no superstars. There's no one in the Fulham team where you go, well, they've got a 30-goal scorer. They've got the world's best centre-back. They are a very hard-working team that have been put together well under Marco Silva for a number of years. You know they're going to fight. You know they're going to battle. You know what they are. You know what they're not. My worry, Manny, I'm going to say this, my worry, and this isn't so much an Igor Tudor thing.
Yeah.
This is more a Spurs thing. A lot of times this year, I've heard lots of Spurs fans have been crying out for free at the back, for wing backs, whatever you want to call that variation. Whenever I've seen Spurs play free at the back this year, I always think we look at 6s and 7s, Manny. Now, a few examples of that. I thought when we played Arsenal in the first game, free at the back, I thought we looked at 6s and 7s.
Yeah.
I thought when we played Man City in the first half with free at the back, we looked at 6s and 7s. I thought when we played Man United, I thought we looked at 6s and 7s at the back. I thought we played well going forward, but at the back, I thought we got opened up.
Yeah.
Arsenal this weekend, I thought we looked at 6s and 7s. Burnley away, I thought we looked at 6s and 7s. My worry is we can have the pressing, we can go and do. I don't think this formation is something that Spurs are used to. I don't think it's something that we all assume having 3 centre halves makes you more solid at the back, but it also leads.
It looks like
right, exactly. So, I'll be interested. I'll ask the chat, and then I'll let you answer it. Chat, how do you feel about the free at the back? Because for me, I always feel in scenarios like this, just go back to basics. Do you know what I mean? For me, just go back to a 4-2-3-1, get your 4 back 4, get your 2 midfielders sitting in front of them. That's just me. Where are you at with this? Because we know what Tudor's going to do, right? We know he is going to play free.
Well, I understand what you're saying, Savva, and I agree with you in terms of we never look as good playing through at the back, and I reckon the reason being is that they haven't practiced it enough. Right?
Sure.
The issue we have, right, playing 4 at the back. So playing 4 at the back, when chasing a game, we just throw the kitchen sink at it, right? We just try whatever we can to, so that's what it is. But 4 at the back, I think the reason why, Frank has tried to do 3 at the back, Tudor tried to do 3 at the back, is because our fullbacks at the moment cannot be trusted against any other team's winger, because once they are 1v1, like even, do you remember there was a time where Jet Spence, right, was posting every single time saying, welcome to the Jet Spence Penitentiary. When was the last time he posted that? Because ever since the last post he made, he's been rinsed on that. And that is the issue. Whenever our backline, our fullbacks get isolated 1v1, whoever the winger is gets the better of them. And because of that, every manager is probably thinking, right, you know what, I can't be allowing this. So let me put another defensive player in there to shore up, that threat. And but what that does, which is very common in the 3 at the back system, is that it isolates that midfield, whereby you have 2 people having to cover too much ground. And that's the biggest conundrum we currently have.
But do you know the thing is as well, and I'm watching, it's really interesting. When you chuck out a question, it's really interesting because you get some people that will completely validate what you've said and go, yeah, absolutely. And then other people that come at it from a completely different point of view. And I think that kind of sums up where we are as a football club, right? That no one kind of knows, right?
Yeah.
And like Danny's made a good point here. Like Danny in the chat, he is not wrong. We have no fullbacks or wingers, but the problem is I don't see that we've got the right types of players to play wing backs either. Now, this isn't about you're right, I'm wrong, he's right. This is a concern for me that we don't really seem to have the right tools to stick with anything, Manny, because if we go to a back 4, you could say, okay, Porro can go right back. Spence can go left back. Spence isn't a left back. Porro's not really a right back. But they've played there quite a lot. If you go wing backs, you go, okay, right, Porro on the right wing back. Spence is a dreadful left wing back because there's no width and he can't go forward. But Porro's a terrible right wing back from the point of view that anything gets in behind him. But to play wing backs, when we played it with Conte, don't get me wrong, the wing backs that Conte had were rubbish, right?
Yeah.
But what he had was that front three that transitioned. Kane, Son, Kulusevski, right? And it was get it to that three on the halfway line, they will do the rest. The problem that I have now, Manny, is when Spurs get the ball away from our goal, right? You know, the basics of football. When we get the ball away from our final third, it goes into midfield. You've got no ball playing midfielder that can start off a transitional attack. You've got no width or pace out wide that can carry the ball like a Kudus to get you further down the pitch. And you've got no one up front that can hold on to the ball, depending on the mood Solanke's in, that can say, right, I'll hold it up. Everybody else come and join in. My point to all of this, sorry, Manny, my point to that is
no, go on.
I genuinely don't at the moment. When people are going, oh, I play this, I play that, I genuinely don't know what is the best for Tottenham at the moment because we don't have a settled squad. We don't have a settled structure.
No, 100%. Well, first and foremost, you've literally just hit the nail on the head, right? With regards to Solanke. Solanke is crucial in our next game. He has to play. He's the only player that can marginally hold the ball up. That is a non-negotiable. I don't care how much sore throat he's got. There's a strepsil there. I don't know whether it's strepsil or streptal. Do whatever you can to get on that pitch on Sunday at 2 p.m. That's the first point, right? The second point, like we're in 2026, players getting sore throat and not playing. I'm thinking like people were playing with broken legs back in the day. Anyway, that's just by the by, right? Secondly, what I heard literally, I was speaking to one of the guys in IT, and he's a Spurs fan. He saw Alistair Gold on the central line, right? And he said, Alistair Gold said, right, that Danso trained. Yeah. So automatically I'm thinking, if the guy is fit, he has to get in straight away because we cannot afford to have Paulinho playing at the back, unfortunately. We can't afford that because nobody in that midfield brings the quality that Paulinho brings in our midfield. Even though Paulinho is limited on the ball, the amount of breaking of play that he does for us, he is needed in that. That's it. So I think someone said in the chat that both Danso and Porro trained. And I think that is one of the key points. On the point that you're making about Conte, spot on. I think Conte used to always moan about the fact that the wing backs were not doing what he had set them up to do. Sure. Because what he wanted them to do was he wanted either Sessegnon or whoever it was on the left-hand side, I can't even remember now, to go all the way up and then pass the ball all across the front of the goal for Doherty to tap it in. That never used to happen. And because we had your Son and your Kane, it papered over the cracks from that perspective of what Conte wanted to do. In our side, I genuinely do believe that we are going on against Fulham on Sunday. They are not going to be sitting back. That's for sure. They are not going to be sitting back. They've not done it all season. They're not going to be starting now. They're going to try and play. And that's the reason why if Tudor is going to go with that back three, our only chance of getting anything out of this game is if we press using our heads in unison as a team and press high and aggressively. That's key. That's what I think.
I make you right because look, I think this is going to be the lineup. That's what I don't work for the football club. I know people think I do. I know someone said that I'm dressed today like I'm doing cosplay for Lionel Messi, which is quite funny. I think it will be that. I think that they're the free fit centre halves. But again, what it means, Manny, is we know that three can't bring the ball out. right? Like that's and that's another.
Oh mate, did you see Dragusin do that a few times? Did you see that Dragusin do that a few times?
If you play a back three and none of your players are actually ball playing centre halves that bring the ball out straight away, what they do is they get rid of it as soon as possible, and then you're asking, right, where's the ball playing midfielder that's going to take that off them? I think this is going to be the team.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think you've got to get Moani and Solanke on the pitch in the hope of more goals, and I think here this is where Porro becomes absolutely vital with getting crosses into Moani and Solanke. But what I'll counter that with is Fulham have some big boys at the back there that don't mind the balls coming, the crosses coming into the box. You look at Calvin Bassey, Joachim Anderson, Lukic, who's the other one I'm thinking of? Sander Berg. They won't mind that. So my only concern is small pitch at Fulham, Manny. Don't know if you've ever been to Craven Cottage. It is tiny.
No, haven't yet.
Small pitch, not a lot of width. Spurs don't have a lot of width anyway. And my worry is that if they get 1-0 up, that we go into panic mode again and we just start lumping it long because we don't have any other way of playing through them. I'm really concerned. I'm really concerned.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Savva. By the way, sorry, just one point, right? I don't know whether it was shown on TV, but the number of times Vicario lumped the ball up and Tudor was losing his mind. Right, he was screaming at Vicario, saying pass the ball rather than lumping it up. But that's just by the by. That's for my good mate James Flower, who thinks
I wish I had this confidence. What people have got to remember, Manny. Sorry to go off on a bit of a tangent.
No, good.
People go, that 11 will do this, that 11 will. What we got to remember is whatever 11 you put out there wouldn't have played together before in that formation, right? Yeah. So this isn't like when you go, oh, well, Liverpool or Man City have this tried and tested formation that they can go back to. You've got to remember, repetition is everything. Consistency, repetition. That 11 there has never played together before, right? That back three, as far as I can remember, Danso, Dragusin and Van der Ven have never played as a back three together, right? We've never played the two up top together with Moani and Solanke with Simmons in behind. For me, this is the problem. It doesn't just click, Manny. It doesn't just go on paper. That looks like a good 11. And we're changing from game to game. Formation, 11. I think it's a mess.
Yeah, no, agreed. But I think Savva, right now, we are at the point. I like James Flower. We are at the point right now, right, where unfortunately we got no choice. We have no choice. And going back to the point that you were making earlier, I fully agree with you. We cannot. I get the fact that we don't have a strike force that can actually generate chances, whatever it is that we need at the moment with the ball at our feet. But we cannot go there with the mentality of just crossing the ball in, because that is not going to work. It's not going to work. The best way to win this game is to press Bassey, because Bassey, and I love my Nigerian brother, but he treats the ball like a hot potato. That guy cannot pass the ball to save his life. We need to be on his first touch, like we are like a rush. That's how we're going to win that game. Crossing the ball and lumping the ball in and trying to win corners, in my opinion, unless obviously, to be fair, someone will make the argument that we've not had Porro in a long time and Porro's crosses normally are bang on the money. But I just feel like that we should go there and try and show them that we are the team who are in a relegation fight. You know what I'm trying to say? We should go there and show them that we are the team with the major urgency, because the games are running out. The games are running out, first and foremost, but also the confidence is running out. Yeah, because the further you go without any points, any wins, the lower the confidence gets. And then games that you should be winning, you end up not winning because the confidence is shot. So that's the reason why this is probably our biggest game of the season right now.
It's
forget
huge.
the Champions League draw, forget anything else. We can't come out of Craven Cottage without any points. We can't.
Well, look, this is the 11 that played last time. Listen, I'm not a Fulham fan. I don't know if this 11 is going to start again, but this 11 is what played the last game for Fulham.
Good player, Kevin, by the way.
Yeah, again, what they've got here, right, and this is the difference. They'll keep it simple, right? The 4-2-3-1. They'll keep it simple. They won't try and do anything crazy. They won't try wing backs. They're not going to put three at the back. We know what Fulham are going to be. What they've got in this team, though, is they've got runners. They've got people that will get forward and attack. Harry Wilson, Smith Rowe, Kevin will dribble the ball out. Iwobi, full of energy. Berg, powerful in midfield. You know, we know what they're going to be, Manny. I don't think there's going to be any surprises from Fulham, but that's not a bad thing because for a football club, you want that consistency, and Fulham are a very consistent football team. They are 3 points, if I'm not wrong, they are 3 points off a European place at the moment, right?
Are they?
They're 3.
Wow.
Yeah, they're 3 points off Brentford in the Conference League positions, so they've got stuff to play for. And let's be brutally honest, mate. We talk about, must be beating Fulham. Fulham will look at this game and go, got to be beating Spurs.
Got to be beating Spurs.
Right?
It definitely will.
Now, individually, people can do what they want with this 11, right? And this is where I've been talking a lot to Spurs fans in recent weeks. We've got to stop doing, we've got a better 11. We've got a better 11 than these clubs. The difference is it's not about the 1v1. It's about the collective. And what Fulham have done is put their team together well. What Fulham have done is they've got fighters. They've got battlers. They've got people that want to be Premier League footballers. So man for man, none of these players you look at and you go, oh my God, you are amazing, right? But it's settled, Manny. They all Fulham. They
agreed.
You look, Wilson left a bigger team to go to Fulham. Smith Rowe has left a bigger team. You know, there was talks of Jimenez before he left Wolves going to big clubs. You know, Joachim Anderson, Bassi, these players want to be at Fulham. They like being at Fulham. It's a good club for them. So I'm worried. I'm truly worried that we'll get anything from this game. Sorry to be negative.
But Savva, what you said is key, right? Is they, you know, if just going back a few years, if you say to me, right, would you take Tete? I'll be like, I don't think so. Would you take Sessegnon? I'll be like, well, we've tried and tested. It didn't work. Yeah. Like, I know my good Nigerian friend Calvin Bassi, and he is very lucky to be a footballer, right? Like, but the key that you've just mentioned is they've got fight. Every game at Craven Cottage is an absolute fight. And I'm sorry, but this team has to show some fight. Whatever you think, like literally, I just wish, Savva, I wish someone could take me into the dressing room before the game so that I can speak to these players. Because us as fans, the feeling we have for this club, and the feeling we have, you know, like you've got people who follow the club home, away. I went to Old Trafford. I literally woke up at 5 to go to Old Trafford and support the team, right? There are people who go home and away in Europe. And these people, if you gave all of us not just the chance, but also the ability, because I've seen Luke Spotlight on Spurs play, and that guy, he is the most horrendous player I've ever seen playing football before. But in any case, right, if you gave all of us the chance, we would die for this club. And these players have to get their finger out and actually do what they're paid to do. If you're not going to do it just for the badge, Do what you're paid to do.
Yeah,
you're getting paid way too much money to relegate this club, a club as historic as Tottenham Hotspur, to have your name in the history books as one of the players who relegated this club.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I don't want to hear any excuses for these players. Go out there and fight.
But the problem
fight.
But the problem is, as much as I agree with everything you've said there, the problem is when you put a squad together as poorly as we have over the number of years,
100%.
You've not bought the personalities you need. You've not bought the mentality of players that you need. You've not bought the experience of players that you need. You've not put a team together. And this is why I've been saying to so many people, and I'm so sorry, I know people get frustrated at me putting this up, but when you look at this, and by the way, there are 3 more defeats that go on top of this, Manny. This was 3 games ago, right? No one's saying that Palace, Brentford, Fulham, Bournemouth, Brighton, that over the last 3 years, that collectively they've had better teams than us on paper. But what those teams have done is, the key word was already in the sentence, team. They put a team together. They bought with a structure, a plan, a philosophy. They've put a team cohesive unit together, right? And this, on the smaller scale, it's like, do you remember when Real Madrid had all the Galacticos?
Yeah.
Right? Do you remember it? And everyone's like, oh, why aren't they winning the Champions League? Well, you can't just put out all the world's best players and think that it's the right mentality and it's the right.
Agreed.
PSG, Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, right?
Didn't work.
On paper, you go, they're going to beat everyone 5-0. It's not got the right cogs. You need the right cogs in the wheel, right, to make it turn. And this is why there's too many Spurs fans that go, we've got better players than Brentford. We've got better players than Brighton, than Bournemouth, than Fulham, than Palace. Yeah, but the problem is they bought with a goal in mind. So when for example, when Fulham bought Sander Berg from Sheffield United, right? They bought him in mind. You're going to come in. You're going to be our midfield enforcer. 6'2", whatever he is, big, powerful, strong experience. You're going to be our guy, right? When they bought in Iwobi, we want your energy. Iwobi's a very interesting footballer for me. Sometimes I think he's brilliant. Other times I think he's rubbish, but he goes in there. He's got the energy, can play in multiple positions. When I look at Spurs, our fans hype up all of these players as individuals, but we have no idea, Manny, as to why were they signed. What, like, Paulinho's a really good player. I wanted Paulinho for years. But Spurs have bought Paulinho and have not settled on one formation where you can just go, right, Paulinho, he sits in the 6. He just sits in the 6. We've tried 4-2-3-1, 4-3-3, 5-3-2, 5-2-2-1, 4-2-2-2. And then we go, well, we should be above these clubs because we've got better footballers. The sum of the parts are greater than the one. I was taught that many years ago, and that is true of all life.
No, 100%. I think one bit that that wasn't in what you just said is also the mentality. Like, I bearing in mind, and I want to caveat what I'm about to say because Tobes said that it was totally different to what I saw, right, in the video. But that video that I saw of Tudor telling Van de Ven to move up, that was one of the biggest alarm bells for me on the day. Now, Tobes said that Tudor was speaking to Dragusin, and if he was, then fair enough, hold my hands up. But to me, it looked like he was speaking to Van de Ven. And if Van de Ven was being told to push up, which was the whole tactic of the game, was to press high, and he was refusing, we've got a big problem. We've got a lot of players who think that they are better than the club that they're in, even though they are contributing to the position that we're in at the moment. And Manny, I don't care
whether you're having that debate about Dragusin or Van de Ven, right? It should not matter who was ignoring him. It should not matter that, because people like Van de Ven more than they like Dragusin, it's okay. none of the players should be ignoring the manager.
Yeah, true. Right? That's a very good point.
None of the players should be calling out the board. None of the players should be walking down the tunnel, throwing their shirt on the floor without saying thank you to the fans. And again, this comes down to, depending on which players fans like, depends on what they're allowed to get away with. So, for example, at the weekend, I thought Dragusin was excellent first half, awful second half.
I thought so too. I'm glad you thought so as well, because a lot of people didn't agree. Okay, fair enough.
But I thought Van de Ven was crap for the entire game. Now, what happens is, football fan, this is nature of what we do, right? All of us, we're all guilty of this. All I've seen over all social media is Dragusin shit. He should never play for Spurs again. He was crap. It's like, isn't it funny how no one's mentioning how bad Mickey Van de Ven was?
Spot on.
Because we like Mickey Van de Ven, right? And he's worth loads of money.
Spot on. And by the way, also, they weren't really going in on him on the video. Yeah, you were right. Because that's exactly what I thought. I thought, after watching that first game, after watching the game, I actually thought that Dragusin literally was battling it out with Gyökeres, because Gyökeres was genuinely trying to bully him, but Gyökeres was not getting away with it. Like, literally, so many times I saw Dragusin just throw him into the bin, right? The second half, he was atrocious, like one of the worst cameos I've seen. Like, and I get that, but when I came on YouTube and I was watching people, everyone kept saying, "Oh, he was just bad. He was just bad. And I was thinking, hold on a second, but Van de Ven was worse. Van de Ven was, for the whole game, for the entirety of the game, he was horrendous, right? And
spread that over years. Spread that over a number of years, right? Every single, you look, the last 3 calendar years, as I said, Spurs have lost 48 games in 105. Right. So we're nearly, I don't know what that is as a percentage, what, 46%, 47%, something like that, right? Just below 50%, which is atrocious. Sorry, just really quickly. Oh, thank you.
Oh, good.
Right. Now, what happens is, like, all of the blame has come away in 3 years from the players completely. Like no blame goes on the players. So it doesn't matter how bad Romero plays, right?
Yeah.
There's no blame because we like Romero. He's won a World Cup and he calls out the board. Doesn't matter how bad he plays. Doesn't matter how bad Mickey Van de Ven plays. Mickey Van de Ven's the golden boy. We love him. We can get 80, 90 million for him. We love him. He's brilliant. Porro is one that Porro has been crap for a very long time, but when he doesn't play, we all go, oh, when Porro comes back, he strengthens us massively, blah, 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 blah. Udogi's done nothing for years, always injured. When he's fit, does nothing. When he's injured, we all go, well, when Udogi's back, I could do this through the whole 11, right? I could do this through the whole team. And the problem with it is there's no accountability going to these players for whatever they do. Tudor will be the latest, Frank and Ange, and all of these guys are going to take all the blame. But the problem is some of these players need to take accountability for, 1, not being good enough, 2, having the wrong attitude. Like, people tell me, Romero's a winner, Spurs aren't. His attitude to me doesn't look like one of a winner. His attitude to me looks like one of somebody that downs tools and criticizes rather than fighting. You know,
but that's the thing, right, Savva, right? Sorry, just to one point on specifically on that, right? That is where my frustration comes in whenever it comes to these players, right? Sorry, not these players. The board, Lange, Paratici at the time, Vinay, Levy, whoever it is that you want to attribute this thing to. My issue comes in that some of these players, right? And the reason why I'm saying this is purely because I've gone through that before, whereby I had to just take a few steps back and think, hold on a second, just because you feel like you're good at something does not necessarily mean that you need to be arrogant about it, right?
Agreed.
Right? But the issue we're having with the players that we have at the moment is that when Romero comes back in 2 weeks' time, Savva, do you think Romero is going straight into the team?
Yeah, of course.
Right. So if Van de Ven was to get injured tomorrow and then he comes back in a month's time, do you think Van de Ven goes straight into the team?
Of course.
That should not be the case at a top club, because there should be enough competition across the board whereby if one of your best players gets injured, someone with enough quality has the chance to slot in, and for when Romero comes back, Van de Ven comes back, whoever it is comes back, they can the manager can be like, oh, I know you're one of my good players, but player A and player B, who slotted in whilst you were off, are doing an amazing job. I can't take them off the team. Instead, what's happened is that we've built a team, unfortunately, whereby, and this is not now, I'm talking about even during Poch's days.
Of course.
Every person in the first 11 slots in as soon as they're available. And if you want to win things, you can't have that. You need to have competition. Like if you look at, people, Glaze, Arteta, etc., right? If you look at that team that Arteta has assembled, right? You can see that there is competition in nearly every single position. There is competition in nearly every single position. And I'm not saying this by saying, oh, they should have done this in one window. They should have done this in 2 windows. But I keep saying, we've moved into the new stadium in 2019. Was it 2019? I think it was 2019. Our interest rate payments are locked in at one of the lowest interest rate payments ever got. From in terms of the level of the debt, 2.5% or 2%, whatever it is, right? Our revenue generation has gone up and up and up. Our cash reserves has gone up and up and up. There should not be any excuses for where we currently are as a team. There shouldn't be any excuses. And instead, we have the same mediocre people leading whatever, whether it's the recruitment, whether it's negotiation, whatever it is, the vision of the club is being run by people who clearly have shown to be incompetent. I have seen people sacked at my workplace for less. And that is the reason why a lot of these players think they're above us.
But Manny, we sit here and we're part of the problem as YouTubers, right?
Yeah.
We sit here and people argue about this player's great, that player's great, this, that, the other. Let's be fair, none of these players are great. There's a reason why Spurs are in the mess we're in, right? There's a reason why Spurs are a mess. There's a reason why we've lost so many games. So, for example, what you always hear is, cool, when Van de Ven and Romero are fit together. What do you mean? Van de Ven and Romero have been fit loads of times together in the last 3 years where we've lost 48 Premier League games. Like, this isn't this isn't like Vertonghen and Alderweireld. And people have... I am somebody that I think there are so many issues at this club. Like, I don't think there's anything good at this club right now. People call me negative. People call me toxic. It's fine. Just can't you speak about something positive? Sure, in a minute, we're going to talk about who we play in the Champions League, right? But the problem that we've got here is, and I'll tell you what, that's the first sentence there that I just saw at the corner of my eye. Absolutely it. The bar is so low in terms of the quality of players. Our fans hype average or below average players. I completely agree with you, Chloe, because what we've done is we've put players on a pedestal that have done nothing. Like, we convince ourselves that we've got a really good team. But yet, when you actually look at what most of them have done in their careers in a Spurs shirt, it's been underwhelming. There isn't anybody in this squad other than, you would say, Maddison's got good stats in a Spurs shirt, actually, if you look at his goals and assists, right? When he's fit, right? But when you actually look at them, a lot of them are always part of these embarrassing defeats, always in part of these poor runs of form, always part of these melees and the dramas with the fan base and with the media and with the managers. But yet every single time we go, don't worry, because this manager will come in and you know what? He'll bond them all together and those players will be amazing. This is why I think, man, this is a long-winded way of saying, for me, I think this whole squad needs to be ripped up. I think this whole squad needs fire sale. I think it needs to be ripped up. We need to stop pretending that players are better than they are. Like, look at what we've done with Van de Ven. Van de Ven's a good centre-half, right?
Yeah.
Notice, not great, Not a mate. He's a good centre half. He has some great games. His pace gets him out of a lot of trouble. When I look at the greats that I've seen at centre half for Tottenham Hotspur, this guy's not one of them. This guy's nowhere near it. Now, could he be in the future? Maybe. But I watch him on the ball. I watch him positionally. I watch him in the air.
Ball in positionally, isn't it?
Right.
And in the air,
I watch him one-on-one with strikers. He's a decent centre-back. He's a good centre-back. But we've elevated him in our minds to he's there. Right? Now, Liverpool might want him. Madrid might want him. They're going to want him because his pace is phenomenal. They're going to want him. But we've put these people on that pedestal, and then those people never get the blame for anything. Romero never gets the blame. Like, look at Lee. Big up Lee. I'm going to disagree with it. Lee Enigma in the chat. Love you, Lee. But Lee's saying, oh, because Romero gets in the box and scores goals, it shows fine. But I want my captain leading on the pitch, not being suspended. I want my captain being positionally savvy, not running into midfield and kicking people in the air. But you know what? When Romero does that, people go, oh, he's covering for the bad players around him. Sorry, this is 4.5 years now of Christian Romero. One good game, two shit ones. One good game, two shit ones. I'm not
he does wander into the midfield. I don't know why he does that, right? But sorry, on the point that you just made, Savva, in regards to Van de Ven, right? That's the thing. So if we just very, very briefly, because my memory sometimes just, lets me down. But we sold Harry Kane the first year, right? That the year that we bought Madders in, right? So we brought Madders in that year in the 10, even though bearing in mind, obviously people forgotten that Eriksen had left ages ago, right? So we needed that 10. And in reality, probably we needed an additional 10, right? Mm-hmm. We then brought in Van de Ven. I can't remember who else we brought in that season.
So this is Ange's first season. We brought
Ange's first season. Yeah. So we brought in Vicario to replace Lloris, Van de Ven,
Maddison, Johnson.
Oh God. Yeah, Johnson. Yeah, and someone else. I can't remember. I think it was about five players. But in any case, right? Yeah, so Vicario, we already needed an upgrade on, because I'm basically trying to explain to you. I'm trying to explain to you how flawed the board's thinking and mentality is, because Poch's team needed a revamp under Mourinho. Let me just start. It needed a revamp under Poch. It needed a revamp under Mourinho. It needed a revamp under Conte. So then Ange came in. We brought in Vicario to replace Lloris when we needed to replace him already. And we also needed to have a decent backup for Lloris. But we only brought in Vicario. Then we brought in Van de Ven, and at the time I think Eric Dyer left in that January. So we needed Sanchez left in the September. So we needed more than just Van de Ven. And then we brought in Maddison to replace Eriksen, right? Who should have been replaced ages ago. So a lot of the players that we brought in during that time were players in certain positions that we were supposed to replace already and have an additional backup, right? Quality backup, right? We then got the money for Harry Kane, which, by the way, went straight down to the bottom line in the P&L because Harry Kane was homegrown, right? So from a PSR perspective, we could have easily spent 5 times that money because of everything gets amortized, right? We then the following season realized that actually Richarlison is not good enough, and is not going to be able to fill in the boots for Harry Kane. I mean, who knew that Richarlison can't fit the boots of Harry Kane? Not anybody else. The board couldn't have known that. So we brought in Solanke, who had 18 goals in one season in the Premier League. He had never hit or 19. He had never hit that number of goals before. So they brought him in and brought in the mighty Odegaard and Gray, right? So if we're looking at the squad build and the fact that actually we should have spent a lot more money than what we've spent. Every time we've brought in someone, it's been to replace someone rather than to actually add to the main team that we should be.
The nail that you hit on the head there was we just replace, but we always replace down the line. So you look at it, right? Forget, and again, I know some fans can't get this. Forget whether you like the player or not, right? Son, not saying people wouldn't like Son. Son left. 2 windows later, we've still not.
That's replaced, a sackable offence, Savva.
Brennan Johnson, again, forget whether you like the player or not. Brennan Johnson sold on the 2nd of January, not replaced. Christian Eriksen left Tottenham, and we went 3 years, whatever, without a playmaker, and Harry Kane had to play there, right? You look at Vertonghen and Alderweireld. What did we do? They weren't replaced. What we did was their backups, who were Davis, Dyer, and Sanchez, just got promoted to the first team. We never replaced them, right? And then Romero came in a few years later, right? You look at Dominic Solanke, if he is the Kane replacement loosely, I'm skirting around that. But again, Harry Kane went. 12 months later, Dominic Solanke arrives in the building, right? This is not what the big clubs do. I'll tell you what, Manny, let's forget the big clubs. Let's go to some smaller clubs, right? Bournemouth sold Semenyo in the 2nd week of January. His replacement, Rayam, was in the building in the 3rd week of January, right? Bournemouth had identified again, forget what you think of the players. They had identified their Semenyo replacement, and they had him in the door a week after their guy went. That is Bournemouth.
Yeah.
That's Bournemouth. That's Bournemouth Football Club, who about 15 years ago were 1 goal away from going into the conference, right? That is Bournemouth. This is why when we sit and argue about this player v that player, I don't like Dragutin, I don't like Danso, I don't like Tell, I don't like Odegaard, I don't like Gallagher, I don't like... But what does any of it matter? None of these players are bought with a succession plan, with any plan in mind. Yeah. Tottenham Hotspur knew Kane was going to leave at some stage, right? They knew it. They knew Son was not going to be here forever. They knew Hugo Lloris was not going to be here forever. And the best we could come up with was Vicario, right? Across the whole of world football, the best we could come up with was a guy that can't command his area.
Over Raya, by the way.
Huh?
Over David Raya.
Over David Raya, right, okay. But what we did as Spurs fans, I was part of YouTube panels where instead of going, this is shocking, right? We started pretending Vicario is better than Raya. No, he's not better than Raya at anything. No, he's not. Right? That's left wing, Son not replaced. Kane's never been replaced. Eriksen, we finally replaced with Maddison 3 years later, or 2.5 years later, whatever it was. Right? Right winger, to be fair, we never really had a set right winger in that period.
Yeah.
Right, Dembele was the last ball-playing midfielder Tottenham had. The attempt to replace Dembele was Ndombele, who left this football club 6 years after he joined, didn't really play for Spurs. So we replaced Dembele 6 years ago with a guy that didn't work out and haven't attempted to since. Right?
But Savva, sorry. That point there, right? This is where I really get angry with whoever who's in charge, who does whatever, right? The signing of Ndombele, right, in my personal opinion, was not the major problem. The fact that he didn't work out, and then all of a sudden we decided, oh, actually, you know what? Ndombele not working out shows that big money signings don't work out. That was the problem. Because a top team would literally bring a player in, The player doesn't work out. Okay, you know what? We need to get a replacement.
Yeah, let's go again.
We need to get a replacement. We need to go again. How much money? And I know people are going to moan about the fact I'm using City. How much money did City spend last January? 200 million. They brought in Kusanov. They brought in Rodri's replacement. I can't remember. This January, they were like, oh, actually, you know what? Forget those players. We need to do something. We need to achieve something here. Go get Gehi. Go get Semenyo. That is a team. You can use that with Arsenal, even with the rumor. And I know they were just rumors, but they tried to get Tonali. Like if I'm clubs that are supposed to be serious do not operate the way we operate. Clubs that are supposed to be serious don't look at, as an example, last season's injury crisis that Ange had, and having Forster in goal, having all those players, and buy him Kinski at the start and then Danso at the end. A serious club does not look at Frank's injuries this season and go, you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to sell one of your attackers in Johnson, and we're not going to replace him. Like, it's just mad. And then to come out, Lookman was there. Lookman was there. Anybody with eyes, anybody with eyes and common sense knows Lookman is a quality player. Even if you want a level above Lookman, what do, Savva? You bring in Lookman, and then in the summer you go and get the level above, so they complement and they actually challenge each other.
The level above Lookman doesn't choose Tottenham, right? This is
exactly. That's sort of a point as well.
Have a look here, right? Look at what Chelsea did in the summer, right? Have a look. Forget the buying. Look at the right-hand column. Right? Look at the players out. This is what a team does. If Chelsea buy poorly and want to move players on, look at what they do. In the summer, they got rid of, let's count. So Madueke is 1, Nkunku is 2, Felix is 3, Petrovic is 4, Ogachukwu is 5, Dewsbury Hall is 6, Vega is 7, Brozier is 8, Chukwuemeka is 9, Nicholas Jackson is 10, Amugu is 11, Bashir Humphreys, 12. Kepa, 13. Bettinelli, 14. Gilchrist, 15. And Disasi went on like 16. Chelsea, right? All right, we bought players. It's not worked out. See you later. 16 footballers left Chelsea in one summer, right? Spurs. Who left Spurs this summer? Go on, here you go. Let's play this game. Who left Spurs this summer? Son.
Yeah, other than Son.
Right, so let's have a look. Let's go officially with transfer market, right? Let's have a look and see who officially left this football club, right? This is why we are an absolute joke of a club, right? We hold on to everyone too long, but let's have a look who went this window, right? So in the summer, Son went.
Yeah.
Brian Hill went to Girona for 6 million.
Yeah.
Right. And Højbjerg went, but who had already been out on loan for a year.
Yeah.
In France. So the only first team player that Tottenham sold in an entire summer was Son. And the only other squad player that was sold that window was Brian Hill. Right? Look at the difference between the way football clubs operate, right? So I know you know this, but when we sit there and go, good window, like Spurs fans told me this was a good transfer window. And I sat there and I said, no, this is not, this is average, right? We had hardly any outgoings. The players that came in were to replace injured players who are injured for a year. Didn't replace Son, didn't buy a goal scorer, right? Didn't buy a ball playing midfielder, didn't buy any fullbacks, didn't buy another goalkeeper. We are a laughing stock, right?
We are.
And from that money, Manny,
go on.
Son went for 22 million euros. So what's that? About 18 million quid, whatever it is.
70 million pounds,
Højbjerg, who was already an obligation, went for 13 million euros, and Brian Hill for 6 million euros. That is 40 million euros between them, which is about what, 34 million pounds.
Yeah.
Right. Yet we are looking at this squad going, look at the state of this squad. Why was Ben Davies not sold? Why was Odegaard not sold? Why was Richarlison not sold? Why was Star, Basuma, Benton? This is so embarrassing, Manny, as to how we run a football.
Yeah, but go on, Savva, go on.
So just last thing I'll say, right? We turn around and we look at all these other clubs and we laugh. People go, Chelsea, huh? How on earth are we laughing at anybody else when our club is run this badly? In the summer, when everyone was saying, 4 first-team players, what are you talking about? 2 of them were loans, right? 2 of them were loans. They weren't even planned, Manny. You can't plan with Paulinho and Mawani when they're on loan. You're not planning for the future. You are saying to the manager, make do this year. We'll try again next summer. And you know what? You then get to the January. They don't back. Forget that it was Frank. It doesn't matter. Whoever the manager is, they've not backed the manager. Yeah. And then we're sitting here as fans going, I can't believe this. Look at what the managers are doing to the club. But sorry, we need to wake up. We need to wake up.
Savva, I think there's one point because I remember I came onto this show during the summer, right? And this was after we had missed out on what's the geezer from not Forest? I forgot the name now. Gibbs White. We missed out on Gibbs White and we missed out on Eze, and we had just got Xavi Simons. And one of the things I said was, you know what? It's not the hierarchy's fault for missing out on Gibbs White because, they've been given some bad information and they acted on that information. Obviously, in hindsight now, after looking at the January we've had, I've realized that actually, hold on a second. If Frank had come in, and I fully understand why Gibbs White was the profile of player that he wanted, because Gibbs White, not only is he versatile, but he's actually robust for this league, hardly gets injured, and is useful in multiple positions.
Powerful.
Right? Yeah. So if Frank had come in, and that's one of the things that I genuinely said, you know what, with that, I fully sympathize with Frank. If Frank had come in and said, this is the profile, this is the guy I need, right? Why on earth would you have wanted to undercut a club like Forest rather than actually going in there like every club and paying the money that they were going to ask, which was 70 million? Why? And that shows the mentality of this club. And I know a few people have mentioned in the chat, because I'm looking at the chat and reading it, right? A few people have mentioned Lange. I've not mentioned them on purpose because every single time I think about that geezer, I get really angry. No, Savva, I'm not even kidding. I get so upset because I'm like, this guy we are paying him. We are paying him to shape the vision of this club. And ever since he's come in, every single signing, and I'm thinking, but what's the thinking behind this? And I haven't gone to. What's the plan behind this?
Right.
I haven't got my coaching badges. I haven't gone to and done my MBA, but I've got eyes. So why is it that, okay, I love the club, so I want the best for the club, but that should be an afterthought. How are you not seeing this?
When we're in transfer windows, when people tell me, yeah, good window, I always say, what was that player bought for? Forget the name of the player. Tell me. So when I look at Semenyo at Man City, I completely get why they bought him. He's a different profile to the other players they've got. Yeah. Most of the players that Man City have got are a very tricky ball playing, one-touch passing. Semenyo bucks that trend. Semenyo's the powerful, dynamic wide man that will drive forward, get into the box and score goals. Whereas Doku, whilst powerful, He's your tricky, hold on to the ball, beat men, take players away. Right? So you go, yeah, I get that. He's filled a void that they don't have. Right? Now you look at Spurs. You look at Spurs signings. People go, oh, Mawani. What was he bought for? Panic. Paulinho. Love Paulinho. But was Paulinho bought with a tactic in mind and a longevity in mind? Or was it, you know what, we can kick the can down the road of needing a DM? Now, Manny, I need to caveat this because people will say, oh, you wanted him. Absolutely, I wanted Paulinho. I wanted Spurs to buy Paulinho, stick him in the number 6, put him alongside a ball-playing midfielder and a proper number 10. That's what I wanted, right?
Yeah.
Now, this is... Cool, got your message, man. We are in a position where we look at these signings and people go, like that, like that, like that. I try, Manny, to take a step back, forget that I support Spurs sometimes and look in and go, cool, but what's the plan? Why did you buy this guy? So, for example, all right, you've bought Matisse Tell. I don't rate Matisse Tell, but cool. You bought him, Manny. Now, Spurs, show me what the plan was for you buying Matisse Tell. Listen, Manny, we're fans. Whether we rate a player or not, doesn't matter. Yeah. You've bought him, Spurs. You've spent £40 million on buying Matisse Tell. Now show us, cool, what was your plan and thinking behind buying that player, right? You've bought in this player. Show us what the plan was behind buying that player. They never, ever do. And the problem with this is, by the way, we didn't even do that with Poch. And sorry for the rant, sorry for the venue.
No, you're spot on.
I put a short out yesterday that people were responding to that just don't get it. People are saying we need to go back to Poch and the setup. Even under Poch, Manny, there was no setup. There was no plan. What we managed to do was put a good 11 together. Yeah. There was never a plan. There was never a succession plan. There was never building behind it. There was no squad. There was no strategy, no roadmap to go from brilliant team to brilliant squad to winning leagues, right? And we're going to sit here and do this again. In the summer, people will buy a random footballer. People will go, I like him. Cool, but what was he bought for? I don't know. Let me use Gallagher as an example. People now, Gallagher's shit. Gallagher's not shit. Gallagher is a player that needs to play in a set position.
In a set position, You've been asked to do something that he shouldn't be doing, to be completely honest.
He's dropped in to an absolute shit show of a team that float from a back 4 to a back 3 to a back 5 to a 2 up front. And people go, Gallagher's shit. Fans, you've got to take a step back and realise the knock-on repercussions of no planning has meant that players don't stand a chance whether they're good or not. They don't stand a chance.
On that point, right? You're absolutely spot on. You're absolutely spot on. But let's just say the plan in the summer was to not be reactionary and pay for any panic, but even though obviously money was one, right? So and the plan was, let's get loads of loans in to help the manager, and then once the manager understands the squad, we're going to help him out and buy the real players. Now, let me mention one name that me and you on stream day in, day out during that summer, right, mentioned. Jack Grealish. How much better would we be if we had gone in and got Jack Grealish on loan, right? Because he was going on loan. He was never going to go as a permanent fee, right? But we didn't go in for him because of his wages, which is why I keep going back to the same thing. I am one of the first people who said, I want to give this hierarchy the benefit of the doubt. Well, I'm awake now. I am awake now because the things that I am seeing, my mind cannot compute how I work in finance. Everyone knows in order to increase your revenue base, you bring in talented people. If you want to bring in talented people, you've got to pay the money. So I'm here day in, day out modeling things. Who at Spurs has been deceived to think that they can just do things on a cheap and increase the valuation of the club. Because at some point, they're going to have to sell this club. They're going to want to sell this club. Who has deceived these guys to think that they don't have to spend and that on-field success has not got any correlation to the valuation? Come on. Like, someone, please wake up at this place.
You know what, Manny? Unfortunately, this is the level of sophistication you get with Spurs fans. You get absolute twats going, Grealish is an alcoholic because you saw him drunk because he won the Champions League, because he won the treble. I mean, this is where sometimes, Manny, I do look at some of these fans and go, you deserve the mess we're in because you're thick as shit. I don't mind saying it, right? I'll say it. I know you never would, right? This is what someone like Grealish could have come in for a few years, gone on that left-hand side, and you go, right, you've got a focal point on the left. He gets you out of trouble. He carries you up the pitch. He holds the ball. He
calls us to the ball.
Right? But our fans, nah, he's an alcoholic. He's not good enough for Spurs. Who on earth are we to say that Jack Grealish, Marcus Rashford's another one? I remember people going, wouldn't want Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
What? Marcus Rashford would be our best forward winger, whatever you want to call it, by a mile, right? This is where we're at with it, right? We did this Locatelli a few years ago when we were linked with him, right? Locatelli, not good enough for Spurs, right? You look, all these players, not good enough for Spurs, not good enough for Spurs. Look at what we have assembled. And Lookman, Ademola Lookman, yesterday, got his 7th GA in 7 games for Atletico Madrid. 7th GA in 7 games. Why? Because he's a good player. Because he's an experienced player. Our fans going, we're better than that.
It's just, to me,
we deserve this.
It's really sad. It's really, really sad where we're at, because, again, I like when I look at our finances, when I look at the forward planning, the forward thinking, I've always said, I've literally, and I've always said we fans like Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, might laugh and say, "Oh, so you're Spurs. What do you expect? What, you lower your standards." But I'm like, no. My standards are in line with the season ticket price that I'm paying. That's the level of standards that I have. My standards are on the same level as the revenue that this club generates on the back of fans in the past that have died and gone who've made this club, right? So when I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I don't expect us.
Fuck's sake. The step up in pressure at Spurs. The man has gone to Atletico Madrid and is banging in goals and assists.
I know.
Shut
up. It's a shame, man.
I'm not even going to be polite. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Stop. This is the problem with this fan base. Look how much we think we're a better club than Atletico Madrid. Shut up. Stop. Just stop. I don't want to block you for good, but dumb comments like this, mate, tell me you're just a troll. What? Spurs have finished 17th with 16th. What pressure at Spurs? This is a man. Can you, Manny, remind me?
Yeah.
When Atalanta played in the Europa League final 2 years ago, you remind me.
3-0 Lookman.
What did he do?
3-0 Lookman hat-trick. And they were not tap-ins, by the way. They were well constructed. Like genuinely, the more I'm at work, right, Savva? So I don't even want to get angry because then I push it onto other people, because stuff like that, in terms of us not buying someone like Lookman, is the reason why I got so irate when Lange came out and said the majority of the transfers are going to be in the summer, because I know that if it was anyone else, I would have believed that, okay, you know what? They've not bought anyone. They're going to scrape and try and not get relegated. And in the summer, they're going to bring in 9 quality players. But I know for a fact we're not doing that. We are not doing that. And that's the reason why everyone is irate with our transfer window and transfer dealings in January, because we know they didn't do enough in August last year. They did nothing in January this year, and they're not going to do enough in August this year. And the last thing I'll say as well, Savva, right, before I have to jump off, but the last thing I'll say is Chelsea had that in and out, right, of players, right? And then there was one player in there, because I know a lot of people say that to me in the comments a lot of times. There was one player in there that said, sod it, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to sit here and take my money, right? And you're going to have to play me. And that was Raheem Sterling. What happened to him is that they said to him, all right, mate, you're going to sit here, then you're going to sit here for the entirety of your contract, not playing football, not playing with the first team. What did that do? That pushed him out into a team that he's actually going to play. And I'm not advocating for this before someone from the Players Association comes and kills me, right? But what I'm saying is, when a club seriously wants a player out, and a club is serious, they will get them out at all costs. And the likes of Richarlison, and I love Richarlison's attitude and his love for Spurs, but when that offer came in from Saudi, Richarlison should have been told, listen, mate, you either get out of here or you're sat on the bench, because we're going to bring someone in who's better than you, and that person is going to take your spot. That is what we don't do, and that's the reason why we don't operate as a big club.
Before I let you go, Manny, that's because there's no plan. If Spurs had a proper director of football, right, and a manager that were synced and aligned with a 3, 4, 5 year plan, you can turn around and make that decision and go, Richie is not part of our plans. You sit down with a player, don't you, and go, look, we want to find you a new club. I don't want to leave. Well, look, I'm going to be brutally honest with you. You're not in my plans. That guy is that. You're not in my plans. Problem is, Spurs don't have that. We don't have a style of play. We don't have a set plan. We don't have better players in front of him. So right now you're going, Richie will come back. Richie will play games. And again, this is the level of signing we've made over the last 5-6 years, and we wonder why the squad is so shit. Richie, Solanke, Tell, Odeberg, Gray, Bergvall, Sarr.
Embarrassing.
You know what I mean? Like Adogi, Danso, Dragashin, Vicario. When you look at all of this, I am in no shock that Spurs are a bottom half team, unless you've got every one of your best players fit. And that's the problem. Manny, I know you need to go. Look, listen, you got to 1K. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and thank you to everybody who subscribed, man. Really appreciate it. Been waiting for 6 weeks. I come here within minutes. It happens.
Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, I've been doing this for so many years, Manny, YouTube, and nothing at Spurs has changed in the time I've been doing YouTube. Nothing. No. Everyone comes on and argues every one of my points every season, and I'm still sitting here saying the same thing I said when I started YouTube 5-6 years ago. Nothing's changed. No plan. Nothing's changed. So look, I'll let you go, bro. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the chat. Savva, have a good one, man. I'll tune in from on the other side. Bye.
Cheers, Manny. Appreciate you as always. Take care, mate. Yeah, listen, we won't go for too long today. As I said, I will be on the Spurs 5 tonight at 8 p.m. I don't think Sean's very well, so I'll be filling in for Sean. Hope he gets better soon. I'll do some super chats as well in a minute. But look, yeah, please do subscribe to Manny. Really good content creator. Very, very sensible football fan as well. Yeah, and sorry, people like that Ragnar, I've just time demand. I can't deal with. Again, I feel like this is like any kind of addiction in life. I think until people can admit what the problems are, you're not going to get better. And the fan base can't even agree on everything and how bad it is. The fan base can't admit anything, right? That we are so far removed as a collective, like we can't agree on what's wrong, even though it's in front of us every single season, even though it's been the same for years and years and years and years. So it is what it is. Yeah, look, the protest is something that I'm somebody, I don't think protests work. I've gone to the last couple to see, right, what's this all about? Can it work? But it's difficult, right? We're asking owners to sell a £4 billion football club, £4 billion business, and they're not going to sell until they want to. Now, if we, Reese, you've posted this 3 times, mate. I've seen it 3 times. You're fine. Just stop trolling. Stop trolling. Yeah, no, Ragnar, stop. Just stop. Again, stop what pressure cooker at Spurs. We're not. Man City is a pressure cooker. Liverpool is a pressure cooker. These clubs have to win leagues and Champions Leagues. There's no pressure at Spurs. We finished 17th last year and the fans loved the manager. We are 16th this year and the fans still love most of the players. There's no pressure. What pressure? What pressure? What pressure cooker at Spurs? What pressure? I don't get it. This is the nicest club in the world. You come here, you don't have to do anything. The fans love you no matter how average you are, right? Manager gets sacked, we start again, and the circle repeats. There's no pressure. If there was pressure, fans wouldn't be rating average footballers. If there was pressure, fans wouldn't. If there was pressure, fans would be protesting against the board religiously. There's no pressure. This is a lovely place to be. It's a spa. The training ground is a spa. Guys, girls, who would you rather, Atletico Madrid or Galatasaray? Talk to me about it. Why? Tell me the team. Why? Why? Who would you rather? This is a tough one. I think Atletico Madrid have goals. I think they will hammer us. Alvarez, Sorloth, Lookman, Griezmann, just goals. I think they will batter us in Atletico. Now, Galatasaray, I think in Turkey would swarm all over us. Now, away, I think we beat them. At home, I think we could beat them. Away, now that's a pressure cooker. Going away to Turkey, that's a pressure cooker. They put 5 past Juventus in Turkey. Who would you rather? This is a rock and a hard place for me. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. It's got Adamola Lookman hat trick all over it if we play Atletico, hasn't it? It's got an Osman hat trick written all over it if we play Galatasaray. I don't know. Listen, Atletico for me, I think I'd have to say Galatasaray. I think I'd have to say Galatasaray. Wow. I watch Atleti, and as poor as we have been, we are beating them. Wow. I mean, what do you, wow. That's like saying Man City lost to Bodo Glimt, so they're shit. I mean, it's, oh my God, honestly, crazy. Some of the comments are crazy. Big up to Gary. I know he'll be saying, said, yeah, Galatasaray, but I don't think it matters. If we go down, the money won't be used for. Yeah. Yeah, listen, I'm not been impressed with Galatasaray when I watched them, but in Turkey, this is gonna be this is going to be a horrible atmosphere in Turkey. And our players can't cope with any atmosphere, can they? Our players can't cope with a lot. So this is going to be interesting. Big up to Jose El Del Cocorel. So it shouldn't be easy when you reach the last 16. All games are hard for all teams. Yeah, sure. That's a nice diplomatic answer. But that, you know, who is it that who do you want to play? Like, no one's saying any games are going to be easy, but I do worry about playing Atletico. I do worry. I don't want to play Atletico. Too many goals in that team for me. Far too many goals in that team for me. I watched them yesterday. Lookman looks dangerous. Griezmann, you know, Sorloth. You know, they've got Griezmann. I don't know. 164 Spurs says, bang on Savva. Our fans are too nice. 25 years this ownership have been taking the mick. PS, I couldn't care less for the Champions League. It's just more money for ENIC. Yeah, unfortunately, it does feel that way at times, doesn't it? That the money does go to them. I mean, mate, sure, I'm not saying we can never beat Atletico Madrid, but when we're going, trust me, Atletico Madrid are creatively void. Let's see how creatively void they are. Let's test your theory. Atletico. Right. And this is why, Wesley, I can't take you seriously, right? If you're going to come into my chat, big up to you, but if you're going to come into my chat and spout that Atletico Madrid are creatively void, let's have a look at Atletico Madrid's last 10 games. Are you ready? They scored 4 yesterday. They scored 4 at the weekend. They scored 3 the game before that. The game before that, they didn't score. The game before that, they put 4 past Barcelona. The game before that, they didn't score. The game before that, they scored 5. And the game before that, they didn't score. In that, they've scored 5, 9, 12, 16, 20. They've scored 20 goals in their last 8 games. They've scored 20 in 8, and they're creatively void. Sorry, guys, as I said, there's opinions and then there's just lies, right? That's just mad. 20 goals in their last 8 games, and they're creatively void. As Tom said, what are we doing here? Yeah, exactly. They only put 4 past Barcelona. Yeah, terrible. No creativity. Creatively void. Honestly, common sense has left the world of football, isn't it? It's left the world. Yeah, they put 5 past Madrid, right? Here you go. So 4 past Bruges, 4 past Espanyol, 3 past Bruges, 4 past Barcelona, 5 past Betis, 3 past Mallorca, right? They put 5 past Real Madrid, 3 past Girona, 3 past PSV. But yeah, but they're shit. It's truly worrying. Truly worrying when you see some of these comments that go in. In normal circumstances, I'd say Galatasaray is my choice, but at this point, I'm not sure if I wouldn't prefer us getting knocked out. Well, that's another question, isn't it? It's another question. Big up to my man, Macau. I hope you're well. ENIC FC are creatively void. I tell you what, no, dude, we all saw what you said. You said, I've watched their games. They beat Barca because they planned against the high line. When you give them the ball to play, mate, they've scored 20 goals in 8 games. I'm looking at all of their fixtures. They are scoring goals for fun. Stop pretending. I hate it when people try to be too clever. The stats and the data tells me that you are not correct, right? You're not correct. You can't be creatively void and scored all the goals. Oh God, honestly. Savva's the most, I'm not sure about that. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I do have some really strange people that constantly come into my chat though. Honestly, it's so weird, isn't it? Spurs could lose 6-0 and they'll tell you we could have beat Arsenal. Like, you know, no, dude, stop now. You're not being honest, right? Wesley, whether we can beat Atletico or not, that wasn't the point I focused on, right? Listen to what I'm saying. I'm not acknowledging the bit where you said we could beat them. I'm acknowledging a bit where you said they're creatively void. They score goals for fun. Stop. You can come back. If we beat Atletico, great. That's not what I'm arguing with you about. It's your nonsense comment that they're creatively void while I'm watching them game after game score loads of goals. Yeah, exactly. Just join in with the madness. Yeah, but they only score goals against Barcelona, Real Madrid. Yeah, mental, isn't it? Honestly, truly worried for the IQ of the modern day football fan. I don't know, to be honest. Let's have a look at the Champions League winners' odds. Champions League winner odds checker. Right, let's have a look at the odds. Arsenal are the favourites, by the way. Right. So here's the odds for the Champions League. Let's bring this up, shall we? Let's bring these up. Okay. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. We'll find out together. So here's the odds for the Champions League. So Arsenal are the favourites, 7-2. Bayern Munich, Man City, PSG, Barcelona. As we go down, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Atletico, Spurs. Yeah, so I'm guessing with the bookies, we will be favourites over Galatasaray. My worry will be if we have to play Galatasaray and Galatasaray, I genuinely worry about how we will completely crumble. I don't know. Guys, girls, I've got to do some super chats. Big up to John Turney with a super sticker. Thank you very much. Really appreciate you, John. Thank you very, very much. Much appreciated. Vaped and Juice TV says, hate myself, but today I bought 5-1 relegation cover. Oh, you bet on Spurs to get relegated? I don't think we will, but hey, a safety net. Big up to you, Vape and Juice. Very generous. Aussie Coys, thank you very much for the super sticker. As always, Aussie Coys, really appreciate you. Thank you very much. Anthony Clark said, please stay up. We need 6 points next season, you cheeky thing. And AOCCM said, Sousa, VDV, Dragosin, Danso, Porro, Paulinho, Gallagher, Sar, Xavi, Solanke, Austin Okinski. We have to pack the midfield and get a lot of corners. Yeah, I mean, possibly, my man, possibly. I'm not sure. Is Sosa ready? I don't know. Is there enough there in that team? Mate, we're going to find out, right? We're going to find out at the weekend, but thank you so much for your super chat. We're going to find out. Yeah, and that's a good point. The odds will change when the draw is made, but he's class. He is class, Locatelli. Absolutely everything Spurs need. Savva, do you think Kudus coming back next month could give us enough quality? My worry is he's going to have come back after 3.5 months out, right? How fit is he going to be? Is he going to hit the ground running? I don't think we're going to go down, by the way, but hey, it is what it is. Let me see who's live. Should we see who's live? As I said, I won't be live the rest of the day. I'm going to be with the Spurs 5 at 8 p.m. Customization redirect. There must be a Spurs YouTuber somewhere going live. I can't see anybody live at all. So I'm not sending you anywhere. I can't see anybody live. Guys, girls, much love. Here we go. I love this. Now this guy. Savva, go on. I honestly feel all the negativity, shut up, you idiot, from big-time influencers in Spurs. I'm not a big-time influencer, is seeping into the lads. Shut up, you idiot. Shut up. Again, I can't deal with idiots. I'm so sorry. My negativity. Spurs have won 2 games in 18. We're 16th. We're in a relegation battle, but I'm the problem and it's seeping in to the players. Shut up. Shut up. What are we doing? How old are you? How old can you be? So I'm negative because I tell you the truth. Yeah, I know. Sorry, Chris. Yeah, we know Archie Gray watches it. Big up. Take care, guys. I'm going. I can't deal with people like Wesley. Just chat absolute nonsense. They're the people that their parents told them, just cross your fingers and you'll be famous. Just cross your fingers, you'll be a millionaire. Don't worry about the hard work. Don't worry about the facts. It's absolutely ridiculous. Take care. Much love. See you later. Bye-bye.